going to take a look at reins. Reins come in predominantly two types: traditional leather reins like these, the more modern biathane reins like these, or these early easy grip rubber coated webbing reins that were supposedly easy to hold in wet weather. This is half a set of pair reins, and these are 7/8 wide, which is a size that fits my hand. And remember that reins are really personal preference and should fit your hand. If you can hold it with your little finger and not let go, the rein is the correct width for your hand. So again, we have a set of leather reins. These, however, are 3/4 inch wide, and we're measuring across the rein rather than this thickness. This is the thickness that counts in your hand rather than the thickness of the rein in depth. So here, as you look at my hand, you can see that the rein should come to that knuckle, and you can see that it's way off being as thick as would be useful for me to drive with. These would just be uncomfortable to hold for a drive. Here we are with a set of reins that fit my hand. These are 7/8 wide, and as you can see, these fit my hand pretty well. So these are modern biathane reins with stops, and the stops are good because they help you ensure that your reins are equal and parallel, because if you've got the same number of stops side by side, it means that your reins should be parallel because you don't have any splices to match from. These reins are also really cool because they have a swivel in the middle, so you don't have to undo them to take a twist out of your reins, and they have the little string for your little finger for security while you're holding your reins. So these are our easy grip reins, and these are an old style of hair competition rein. I could never get along with them because they just fold up in your hand, and I could never, it gave my hand cramp, and I could never hold them securely enough. And interestingly, these reins have 11 holes like Arc and Bark style reins. As we said earlier, wide reins are easy to hold. I prefer leather gloves, although not everybody's comfortable with the idea of Velcro fasteners. Some people take these off, that's personal preference. But good leather gloves, well cared for and saddle soaped, along with good, well cared for reins, work in all weather conditions. I've driven in days of rain, cold, many other things. But remember, when driving in wet weather conditions, always have a spare pair of gloves so you can dry one set while you're driving in one set. Traditionally, these cotton or woolen knitted gloves were always thought to provide more grip and more warmth for the hand in wet weather conditions. I've never driven in a set of gloves like this in wet weather conditions, but you see them often in the showroom under the box seat, and certainly I've used this style of glove when fox hunting in the rain, and they work very well. But again, remember, always have a spare pair of gloves because you need to dry a set out so you can use a set. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, every time you drive, check your reins. It takes 30 seconds to look at them. That 30-second look could save your life. Check your billets for stitching and wear, your splices for stitching and wear. Make sure everything is safe and sound and ready to use. Here's an example of a set of reins that have been chewed and the stitching's gone. These really would be reins you wouldn't want to use at any price without serious repair. So here we have a set of old coaching reins that you can see have had new billets attached, and with good old reins, most harness makers will happily put new billets or hand parts on reins that are sound and safe to use.